This episode is brought to you by Muntins Malts, a company that is passionate about providing premium malts to brewers worldwide. For over a century, Muntins has been a leading supplier of brewing and distilling malts, offering the finest British malted barley on the market. You can experience the difference Muntins offers by joining a recipe receiving tier of our Trub Club, because every kit that ships out now includes premium Muntins malt. You know, we've known the Muntins crew for a long time, and I can tell you, friend, you're going to love brewing with their grains. Ask your local supply shop to carry Muntins malts, or homebrewers can join our Trub Club at homebrewhappyhour.com/club. Be a part of the community and come brew with us. Thank you, Muntins, for supporting our efforts and homebrewers worldwide. Today's show is brought to you by Hopsdirect.com. Grown in the esteemed Yakima Valley on the Pewterball family farm, Hopsdirect.com offers the widest variety of hops available online at incredibly competitive pricing. It's simple. They grow hops, they sell hops, and they ship hops straight from their family-owned farm to your doorstep. Producing the highest quality hops is Hopsdirect.com's passion, and they're proud to be an independent grower in the craft beer industry. Go to Hopsdirect.com right now and get what you need to make your brew day better. That's Hopsdirect.com. Today's show is brought to you by Imperial Yeast. You hear us gushing over Imperial Yeast all the time, and that's because their yeast performs for us in every batch that we brew. Imperial Yeast is adored by commercial breweries and home brewers alike. Their pitch-right pouches are jam-packed with over 200 billion fresh yeast cells, guaranteed to deliver flawless, fast fermentations every time. Imperial Yeast strains are grown by a team of pro brewers and home brewers who live to help other brewers learn more and ferment better. Join any recipe receiving tier of our Trub Club and get a free upgrade to premium Imperial Yeast with every recipe kit that ships out to you. Learn more at homebrewhappyhour.com/club and come brew with us.
Entertaining shows with content that spreads information and sparks discourse throughout the community. This is the Pearl Media Network.
Keeping track of all your ingredients, brewing a bag on an electric all-in-one, and adding flavors to homemade sparkling mineral water. This is Homebrew Happy Hour, episode 407. Well, hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Homebrew Happy Hour. This is the show where we supply the answers to your homebrewing questions and discuss all things related to craft beer, my friends. And if you have a question you'd like us to discuss on a future episode, you could go to homebrewhappyhour.com. You could email joshua@homebrewhappyhour.com, but even better, call it into 325-305-6107. And when I use your voicemail question, you could do feedback, but question on a future episode, you get yourself a $25 gift card to kegconnection.com. I am one of your hosts, Joshua Stubing, joined as always by the Director of Operations at cmbecker.com down there, Mr. James Carlson, as well as the President and Chief Keg Washer of kegconnection.com. Gentlemen, how's it going?
Good.
Oh, I thought good.
You know, it's been a tough week already, and I mean, how much detail do you want?
Surface level.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you have. Can we talk about the thing, the install? I mean, you've been spending time fixing.
Oh yeah, I wasn't really referring to that, but yeah, we did. We have been trying to determine why a tap was foaming too much in a restaurant with a long draw system, and I think we got it determined. So
everything's resolved, or ish.
Yep.
Resolved.
Seems to be working great now. Yeah.
Good.
Well, we also, I mean, it was more than that. We also did a thorough yearly cleaning. They clean the lines every couple of weeks. You know, the representatives come in from the beer companies and do them, but we did a extremely thorough cleaning. So yeah,
I was always surprised. I say always, pardon me. I was surprised, not always, when we met with Hubertus at one time, because in Texas, as I did learn in Missouri as well, the distributors, they do that as a service for free, right? As part of selling the beer, of cleaning it. But Hubertus was getting so much business as a beer line cleaner because of how poor the distributors were doing. They were just doing a terrible job. I'm not saying that that's applicable to what you're talking about, but I was just...
Oh, yeah. I mean, they do a good job here. I mean, I'm sure there's exceptions, but they do a good job here.
Right.
And it's just a normal cleaning. But another thing is, he does more advanced cleanings and
sure.
The other thing is that he does a lot of breweries. Breweries don't have somebody to clean them.
That is an excellent point. They don't have a distributor because they are brewing their own beer.
Yeah.
And I say that they have in Texas, they have a distributor if they distribute their beer. Would the distributor then offer that cleaning service for your taps? They probably wouldn't, right? You have to be purchasing beer to get the service.
I know there's no such thing as a stupid question,
but I push the line every week. I walk right up to it and just kind of put my toes in. Anyway, we do have some small talk. It's actually a very straightforward episode. I know this week has been hectic. I respect y'all's time. It is also the week of Halloween, so that makes everything kind of crazy. Orders have been coming in and all that stuff. So let me get to the small talk. Guys, it is not technically too late, and I am saying that because two people actually signed up last night and then this morning for the $50 Trub Club. That's 5-gallon recipe kits every month. And if you want to brew what we brewed this month, it is the Celebration Clone. That's the Sierra Nevada Hoppy Holiday not a pale ale, pardon me. It is a very much an IPA. And I've got a batch of it right now, dry hopping. I need to keg it. It's been about 7 days I've been dry hopping it. So I think that's a good time for me to keg it. But if you too want to brew it, you can go to patreon.com/homebrew happy hour. Join the recipe receiving tier before the end of the month. And when you pay, you do qualify for it. So the next time I come up to headquarters, guys, I will be sending those out to the 2 guys who've joined after I already shipped them. If you're already in the club before... I came up Monday. So before Monday of this week, then you should either have it by now or it is on the way. And as always, if you're in the club and you ever want your tracking number, I haven't found a way to automate it, unfortunately. You know what? Actually, James, I use FedEx. I could enter all of their emails to their accounts that they have, and then it would automatically send them the tracking email, wouldn't it?
It does, yeah. Yeah, it's called a ship alert.
Yeah, the ship alert. So so I'm lying, guys. I shouldn't have had this thought out loud on air because now I look like a liar. But I could go into every single person because I do have them as an account to streamline shipping because 90% of our club stays the same every month. And so I just type in the code for their name and then boom, it fills everything out. If I put their email in, it would then automate sending out that email with their tracking info. Okay, so my pledge to y'all now in the Trub Club from patreon.com/homebrew happy hour Trub Club. I'm going to enter in y'all's emails into your account. That way you get it automatically. And then you don't have to text me. Although I do appreciate hearing from y'all. I do. People have been testing me the last couple months in regards to if that phone number is actually something I checked, the 325-305-6107, and they'll text me like, is this really Josh? And then I'll pretend I'm not, or I'll do something. But we do, we're actually, all 3 of us are very accessible if you ever have questions or comments or whatever, mostly by email. Todd likes to give his personal phone number out. I give the Homebrew Happy Hour phone number out. It all works.
But if you want his, let me know, because it's not personal. I pay
beep,
for it.
Beep, yeah. I hate that. I really do. I hate that threat lingering over my head. So, yeah, thank you. I forgot to say this. Thank you to our sponsors, Munton's Malt, Hopsdirect.com, and, of course, Imperial Yeast for providing the premium ingredients for the recipe kits and for supporting all the other shenanigans we do, just like the recently finished up Alt Pokal 2024. You can go to youtube.com/homebrew happy hour and watch all the fun. I guess we could spoil it now. I mean, it's been a week since we did it and published it, but basically a week. Our buddy Jonathan Marute took it down. It was actually, I don't know if y'all have watched the video yet. The sincere look of surprise on y'all's faces was enjoyable. It is hilarious how all 4 of us came to the consensus that his was number 1. Well, actually, again, spoiler, I do want people to go watch the video, but I'll just give you a spoiler. The way we did it, we had a first round judging, like with scorecards that we'd normally do. And then we took the top 5, and the 4 of us just discussed them as we drank all 5 of them simultaneously. And there was not a whole lot of, there wasn't bickering at all. I was the only one out of line. The 3 of y'all, I think, were literally the exact same from the beginning of, yes, this is my number 1, this is my number 2, this is my number 3. It made for a pretty short final round.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was fun, though. I think, and Todd had made the proposition that in the future, to do it again next year, he will if Horst comes. And I'm proud to say that we are very close to working something out on dates and all that for getting Mr. Horst Dornbush to the ranch. So
does that mean we're not going to be able to replace it with the double IPA contest?
Well, first off, gross. But secondly, I think we got to talk it out. We'll talk in the new year and planning meeting or whatever. It wouldn't be bad to have a staple at the beginning, near the beginning of the year, and a stapled competition near the end, and a rotating one in the middle. And the first rotating one could be a pale ale one or something. Don't you shake your head? No. Then fine. I'll organize it. I'll organize. The only difference will be what we can't host it at your place if it's a contest you don't want to do. Is that
James and I were talking. We were thinking about eliminating one. You're adding one.
No, because the Kolsch Cup, if we are doing our part to preserve historic, rich, traditioned beers, that is the shtick. That is the goal of mine. I'd love for more people to be brewing alt. I'd love for more people to be enjoying alt. We can't abandon it just because people sometimes get skittish. What we can do is encourage people to want to submit it because a professional like Horst Dornbush, the author of, let me get it, the alt beer book, which I have conveniently here. James, I put yours back on your desk on Monday.
I saw it. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, it was upstairs. Which again, I bring that up because even James is still referencing the book because it's that relevant to brewing alt. Horst has mentioned before, here's what I might add to the book or whatever. It is the alt beer Bible. And there's tons of great recipes for various alts in the back. And James, I guess you were tweaking the Altstadt alt one from the book, I do believe.
We should have
I brewed it. I didn't tweak it. I just brewed it.
Oh, you just brewed that one. Okay, I don't know why I thought. Okay, but either way, there's really good ones. What should we have?
Don't worry, Josh. James and I talked. We're going to vote on it.
Oh God! Oh God! It's that time of year. I hate.
This is a democracy here. Right?
No. This is a fascist dictatorship, and this is an outrage.
Well, I'm a dictator.
I know.
So this is working out well either way.
I know. Todd Mussolini over there is just like, here's a what the word.
We'll vote on it.
Here's a what the word did I do? What did I have?
We could have listeners vote on what they want to do too.
Like I've ever listened to listeners. Like, their opinions. No, yeah, we'll figure it out. We will figure it out. But Horst is very, very, very serious about coming to the ranch next October.
Oh, so, that would be a game changer. I would definitely do it if Horst came.
I was going to say him and his wife Elva are talking about road tripping to down.
If we do that, we're gonna have to. Our listeners are gonna have to step up to the plate, and we got to have more entries. Yeah, that would be fun.
Well, and imagine this: if I can confirm,
or entrees, whatever you prefer,
or entrees. If we can confirm it, I mean, literally, possibly as early as January, and people know it's going to be in October. Think of the possibilities of homebrewers cold conditioning 9+ months or 10. You know what I mean? Like that. Correct me if I'm wrong, James, or if you disagree. A good alt beer being cold conditioned for a while just makes it a better alt beer. Like it's just
I would say there's probably limits to long-term storage where it wouldn't benefit like a bourbon stout, barrel stout that a lot of times it'll sit there for over a year, or any kind of Goza or but because some of the aromatics and flavors can evaporate over time. The bittering units won't, but I would say 8 to 12 weeks.
It's perfection.
Would be
I was shocked at how good the one we had in the fridge was that was in a keg.
You read my mind. I'll just say I was too. From Kurtzer, right? Isn't that the name of it?
Brauerei Kurtzer.
We had that more than a year, right? So
James said it was like 3 years.
3 years. Yeah.
3 years, yeah.
It was good. It was very malty. what would you have compared it to for the other ones in Dusseldorf, James? I think it was kind of like a Schumacher almost.
I think it was a cross between a Iga and a Schumacher.
Right? Yeah. A little dry, but still with that malt, that body. Very, very dark too. Very delicious. And you, friends, if you're watching this or listening, you can watch all the fun we had for Alt Call 2024 at youtube.com/homebrew happy hour. Again, thank you to our sponsors for making it happen. And thank you for all of you watching and listening for supporting us and letting us do this week to week for you. That's not all the small talk I have, because I didn't make a slide for it, Todd, because I just thought of it when we were recording this. It is actually a big announcement, in my opinion, for Keg Connection specifically. We have kind of, I don't want to say we've changed things up for how it's done in retail, because most people would agree Black Friday, Cyber Monday is not a thing anymore. It's Black November. It's like people are starting their sales earlier and earlier and earlier. And even retail stores now are doing it like Thanksgiving Day for their Black Friday sales. And it's like, guys, that's not Black Friday. That's Thursday. But Keg Connection, instead of just saving all the deals for that Friday through Monday weekend, we're launching a ton of stuff starting November 1st, which is, if you're watching this the day I publish it, that's tomorrow, guys. Friday, November 1st. Todd, do you want to talk about it, or do you want me to talk about it?
Yeah, I mean, I think it'll be the best sale we've ever had. I mean, we're really reducing prices on kits. We're going to have some fantastic keg deals that are going to blow your socks off. We actually had a kind of a special purchase of some pin locks, and I don't want to give it away, but you're going to be impressed.
But I'm going to give away.
Check it out.
I'm going to give away some of the other stuff. Let me do my infomercial voice. All kegging kits, 30% off. 25% off JockeyBox kits, 25% off CM Becker regulators, 30% off air distributors, 35% off beer line cleaning kits, and a bunch of other stuff. Everything's at the lowest sale we're going to have is 15% off, but the highest sale we're going to have is something he doesn't want me to mention. So it's higher than
you can. You just
50% off of certain kegs. It is going to be a great sale. In those kegging kits, he really did do all of them. I have the master list here. Oh, it's kind of whited out on the screen. Complete homebrew keg kits, all the customizable ones, all the flow control ones, all the nitro cold brew ones, expansion kits, commercial kits, wedding and event kits, and the keg kit upgrades. Friends, it really is a huge sale. And I know that most people who do complain say that when you do like the sales stuff, it's all pushy. Yeah, because that's what keeps this show going. So go to kegconnection.com and buy some stuff this weekend, or wait till payday during November. It is going through November. And since they're going to the Brow, I chose not to go because my wife chose for me to not go because it's during Thanksgiving. So I'm going to be up at headquarters while they're gone. I'd appreciate all the orders coming in before I get there, so that they
please put them in while we're gone. Yeah, actually, we genuinely need the business. We would appreciate it. So
absolutely, that is not.
I will beg. I will get here. I will beg. Right
Nothing's beneath us here at Keg Connection. Anyways, that is all the small talk I have. So with that being said, no listener feedback, but the gong of questions has rung. We've got 3 questions this week, and our first one is a voicemail. It's our buddy Sarah. And did I get it? Oh, yeah, Sarah from Kansas.
Hi, this is Sarah from Kansas, and I have heard that Josh is a scholar and a gentleman, and nothing that I've heard in the many episodes I've listened to has contradicted that. So, as far as I know, he's still a scholar and a gentleman. And your podcast is my favorite. I love the way that you guys banter and you don't take brewing too seriously. My question is, I've been brewing for a little less than a year, and I finally have some decent ingredients stacked up in my chest freezer. And I was wanting to know, how do you all inventory and keep track of your grains and brews, especially in your first year when you don't have a lot of money to spend on brew software? So far, I've only used a free app for my Android that has allowed me to do a little bit of inventorying, but paid apps are kind of a big leap for me because the more money I spend on apps for organizing my brew stuff, the less money I have to spend on Hallertau, Mittelfrau, or however you say that. So I would just like some low cost to no cost suggestions on how do you keep track of your grains, your yeasts, just the basics. Keeping track of my equipment is easy. I don't have very much, but the consumables, that's proven to be a challenge because every time I go in my chest freezer, I find something I forgot I had, as far as enzymes, yeast, hops, flaked barley. I have some cheap DME barley, and So, anyways, thank you so much. Keep up the good work. I just joined the Trub Club a couple weeks ago. I'm really excited, and thank you for all that you do to make brewing fun, especially for people who are somewhere between a beginner and an intermediate level of brewing. Thanks so much. God bless. Bye.
Sarah, thank you so much for submitting the question. Yes, she did just join. I did see that, and she knew.
That's a really cool voicemail.
I know, and she knew how to get the question on the show. So she's been a listener for a while. You can tell that she knew who to suck up to give away for me to give her Todd's money. I'm going to throw it to you first, only because I have a question to add on to it for you, James. Before you were with Cat Connection, CM Becker, pardon me, before you were working for Todd. You were in the Duster Brew House, a homebrew club. Sure. Y'all are brewing big volume, which whenever you do big volume, that means big ingredient purchases. Did y'all have the need of keeping inventory formally, or was it just...
No. We had what we call the building, and it was a place I was renting from my good friend Barry. And it was basically a hobby shop with living quarters and all of that. And his dad passed away, great guy. And I ended up over there renting, and then we got the idea to Big Bertha. He had a utility room with wire shelving, kind of like what Todd has on his product shelves. And we just piled everything in there. And I had separated my base from my specialty grains, and then we had an extra fridge that we would keep the yeast and hops in. And so we didn't do any technical inventory because at that time we were doing real simple recipes. So we weren't doing a lot. We did do the audit. The hardest one we did was a chocolate stout, and that was several different types of grains. But we went out to Austin and actually purchased what we needed for that batch. But all in all, we would keep some base malt and just a couple, like some 20L and some 60L and some carapils, and that's about it. If you mix and match different yeasts, strains and different hops, you can make all kinds of cool stuff. So that's the way we did it. But I would say the simplest thing is go online. There's lots of free spreadsheets online and just put it all in. It's product. You got to remember to take those out when you use them, and that'd be the cheapest, easiest way to maintain inventory on that.
Yeah, that's what I was going to segue to. I was going to throw it to Todd because I already know what Todd would say, because this is what we do for keeping up with the inventory that we have. We just use a Google Sheet. And not even a template. I just made one and then update it. Whenever y'all brew, you give me the info and then go update it. It's not always, obviously, even with a formalized inventory system like what we have as a retailer, the numbers aren't always 100%. You know what I mean? So like you can't
trust me. I know what you mean.
We have no idea what you're talking about.
I've been doing it for 30 years. I've never had one come out clean ever.
Right?
Yeah, and Brewer's Friend does do inventory as well. I
No
mean,
kidding.
so we use Brewer's Friend, but the reason we don't use their inventory is because we don't. It's what's so great about that is if it's just you and you're brewing recipes, it takes it out automatically. So
holy moly, look at that! I had no idea.
But you got to brew the session. If you don't brew it, it won't take it out.
Yeah, and it's nice. That's really nice. But for us with a Trub Club and
multiple
people pulling it out of there, then it's more problematic.
We could let me make this about me. Sarah, I'm not done with your question. Great question. Great sucking up. I know questions. That was a great question.
Was that your Trump
answer? That's kind of what I was thinking too. It was a fantastic question.
Fantastic question. I know good questions. That was a great question. What if we did share a single brewer's friend and use that for inventory? Wouldn't that be easier for us?
Yeah, I mean, you could just do one.
You'd have to brew.
You'd combine them all into one big batch of the crushed all grain, and then you just do it all one big batch, Yeah,
I got you.
And then it would do a recipe for however many, but it would be kind of a
okay. No, the way we're doing it now is fine because you just send me the info.
Make it worse.
And, but
because you'd have to do all the Trub, you'd have to do all the Trub Club ones in there.
Oh shoot! Of course,
I think what James is saying is you would do one
Yep.
giant batch brew for a whole Trub Club.
Yeah, that would be a pain. I mean, it wouldn't be a pain. I'd just have to sit down and do the math. No, you're right.
But if it was just me and I would use it a lot. I think if it was just me and I had my own ingredients at home.
Now,
or the cool thing about I didn't even think about the brewer's friend is you could do the 1 5-gallon batch, and then however many kits you sell, you scale it up to however many you need to do times 5.
Oh yeah,
and then that would take it out.
No, you're right. I wouldn't have to make a separate recipe of however many hundreds of pounds of grains it would be. You're right. I'll just scale it up.
Yeah, you could just scale it, save it to that date, and then it would take it off inventory.
I might try that for November because that's a great idea, and it would make it easier. And if we just had, like I said, one for the 3, we could use the Homebrew Happy Hour one for all 3 of us. And that way, when you brew, you can just put it in there, and then boom, it automatically takes.
Just log in and
now
do the recipe.
You know, Sarah, I on the lower end of budget, the spreadsheet works fine. You have to be disciplined to doing it, but you'd have to be disciplined to any inventory system, spreadsheet or whatever. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But it is free, completely free on Google Sheets.
Oh, we're screwed.
Is that only
it's only as good as the accurate
yeah. Oh yeah.
info being punched
discipline. Somebody say discipline.
Yeah, he's talking about me. But do y'all know, because we're all logged into premium Brewers Friend accounts, is the inventory a freeware part of their software, or is that a premium? Because
they have basically trial, which I think you can do like 5 recipes, and then it's either premium, and then there's a step above that as well.
Okay, we're on like the top tier, right?
You are. I'm not.
Oh no, Todd is. I'm on for just
the regular.
Oh, then I might be too. I'd have to look at my settings in my account membership. Oh, I'm on premium. Thank you, Lorena. Todd's probably on.
That's the standard one. Yeah.
Is that Todd's premium?
Do they make a pro version?
I bet that's what it is. I bet Todd's on pro. We're stuck on premium. Either way, I have access to
I'm premium too, huh?
I have access to.
They make a premium pro, but I'm just a premium.
I bet that's Todd. I hate that. You know, it's always.
I have no idea what I am. I have no idea. I don't know.
That's a very 2024 answer. Anyway, Todd always gets a 1-up on all of us. I hate it, no matter what. I have this, and he's like, "Oh, I have 2 of these." In fact, he goaded me into the new phone I had because he was like, I'm going to get the newest phone just to 1-up me. So what did I do? I dropped money I didn't have to, so I wouldn't get 1-upped.
Then I didn't get one.
And then he didn't get one. You're the worst, man. You're the worst. Let me go back to
I'm looking at this, by the way, and if the only part that allows you to do inventory management is Premium Pro.
Oh, okay. Well, on the app, I guess I'm not trying to put in inventory. It shows me the section, but I haven't tried using it. But either way, Sarah, a spreadsheet is what I would start with, and I can either duplicate what I mean, it's super easy using Google Sheets or whatever. And you know, the reason I like web-based ones is because I can access it from any of my connected devices. So if I happen to have my laptop, I can properly type it out. It's easy to pull up on my phone. It's everywhere I go because I'm addicted to my phone. Whereas the old days of, even for brew day note keeping, my dad still writes all of our notes on the brew sheet. He likes that hard copy. I take it into my grandfather account because that's what we brew on, the G40. And I like having the digital version just because I'm not carrying a notebook around with me everywhere or these sheets or whatever. We live in 2024, the best time ever to be a brewer. Take advantage of all the technology. What's that?
Scott and I use a stone tablet to do it on. So.
yeah. My pop and you are etching it.
And you calculate it with an abacus, right?
Yeah, exactly. Old school.
Or your fingers and toes.
Yeah. My dad does, though, to take the reading, when he's there doing the gravity reading, he uses the zoom feature on his phone. He takes the photo of it, so then blow it up so he can see it.
I do that
I thought that's what everybody did.
You mean you don't do it that way?
That's the way I do it.
Oh, y'all are getting so old. I love it. You're like,
but this gray isn't just.
I can't see. Are you kidding me? The other, if I don't do that, Josh, I don't have another pair here. I do my 2 pairs of glasses at the same time.
I have seen that.
I have seen that. I've seen that.
You literally will do this.
Todd. Yeah, if you're not watching it, James did a spot-on impression of Four-Eyed Todd, or I guess it'd be Six-Eyed Todd at that point.
That's Six-Eyed, buddy.
Six-Eyed Todd.
Old and you know what? It works.
It does work. But yeah, Sarah, if anyone has feedback on what they would do for budget templates or specific software for brewers to keep track of inventory, leave it in the comments below at youtube.com/homebrew happy hour, or email me the feedback or call me the feedback. And if it's good enough, I will play it on a future episode. And like Sarah, you'll get yourself a $25 gift card. So thank you so much, Sarah.
And Sarah, we appreciate you saving your money for a proper kegging system. Thank you very much.
That's
yes,
right.
She got her priorities lined up for sure.
She does. The gong of questions means we're going on to our second question, which was a text that's from our buddy Aaron, and he wrote, I just bought a Foundry. Your brewing video on YouTube is what convinced me. My friend who already homebrews suggested that I do brew in a bag on this new system. If I use a bag, do I still keep the basket in the Foundry, or is it unnecessary? I would also like to know if I do not use the bag, should I still double mill grains with this system? James is already shaking his head no. Let me tell a story real quick. We had the spike prototype, the solo, and we had it at the ranch.
My head.
You know where I'm going. Yeah. So we had it there, and the buddy, I don't even think Kenny listens anymore. Not to throw you under the bus, Kenny, but you can't defend yourself, so I'm gonna act like I had no part in it. He suggested the grains be double milled because it's a basket, brew in a basket system.
It's BIAB.
It's BIAB. Why would you? So it is possible the prototype basket, the holes were too big, but what really happened was that fine grain, all that flour got through, scorched the element because the element is exposed on that system when, it's emerged. What do you call that kind when it's in the wort? It's, not like
it's immersive.
Immersive. Thank you. It's an immersive, which is very common. The Broutad's that way. A lot of brew systems are that way for the boil kettle. We scorched the element. We made possibly the worst beer of all time. It was palatable for half of a day or half of a day before it was just totally garbage. And I say palatable as in like I didn't vomit the first sip and then the next day trying it again, Todd and I dumped it at the ranch. But that made me realize if you're not using a bag, you probably shouldn't double mill in these electric all-in-ones because you don't want to scorch your element. Maybe on a system I guess is the Foundry. Is it like the Grainfather where it's not?
Well, here's what I would say. The most important question I would ask Aaron is, one, are you using circulation? Because you can order the Foundry without circulation or you can order it with it. But here's my second point. If you're not using recirculation, I would avoid the bag altogether. Use the basket. That basket was designed for you to brew grains in there. And it keeps the grain bed above the element. Now, with the Foundry, you've got a stainless steel. If you look down in there, that's a stainless steel kettle. You don't see an element, but the element is actually spot welded directly underneath the center of the bottom of that kettle. So, and I call it a kettle, even though it's an all-in-one. It's an all-in-one kettle. So you want to keep the grains above and off the element where the heat source is located. And I don't really know how that would affect the bag as well, just direct heat on the bag. So I would tell you, if you're going to do an all-in-one, skip the brew in a bag, put it in the basket, and just use it like it is. If you want to use a bag, then by all means, use a bag. But if you have circulation, it's not really necessary.
I mean, why? I didn't understand the question to start with. So why would you use a bag?
Well, a lot of people, I think, enjoy the bag for I assume the cleanliness and
it's just easy. You just
it's easier. Take it out.
Oh, okay.
A lot of people squeeze instead of sparge. They let the bag drip and they squeeze it out, and then that's it. And then they move on to their boil, and then they're done. That cuts out potentially half an hour of your brew day, I suppose, right? In regards to if you're skipping the sparge because you're getting the idea with the double mill, again, James, correct me if I'm wrong, is to get all of the conversion done without a sparge. Like you're not, like the double mill is to crack it so much that the sugars come out even more during the initial mash, and you're not having to rinse grains because you've already gotten all that starch out of the cracked grains, right?
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, I actually think the video he's talking about, I'll put it in the show notes. That was from forever ago.
It's the one Joe did.
It was the one Joe did, and I was filming, and I want to say that was the same day that y'all were doing.
It was.
Was it the Cooler Brew? No, we didn't film. But what were y'all brewing that day that we
were doing the video on the Brautag?
That's what it was. I knew I was I was doing double duty, and so I wasn't paying attention to any details in regards to what both groups were doing. But I don't remember because I don't know where. I think that Foundry might be at the barn, or did we sell it? I don't even remember what happened to that.
We sold it.
Okay, so I don't know what it. So but you're saying it's the similar to the Grainfather in regards to it's not a coil or whatever you call element that's visible.
It's not an immersed element directly in the wort. The element is the bottom of the kettle in the.
So you could still scorch it in theory then if you had.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you definitely can. You just want to keep it off the bottom and use the basket.
Yeah. Now, obviously, Todd, you and James actually, y'all both only brew on our Herms. There's literally no reason to use brew in a bag because of how y'all's 3-vessel system works. Like. It wouldn't.
I would never even consider it.
It would make no sense, right? And my pop and I have never thought about using it on the Grainfather because, like you had said, James, the system is designed to have the grains go straight into the basket for the mash, for the sparge. You lift it up, and let it do its thing. I mean, for me.
Yeah, the bag's the basket.
Yeah, right, exactly. And for me, using it the way it was made, just for me, makes it easier. But again, a lot of people, and I would appreciate y'all's comments if y'all want to at YouTube or leave me angry voicemails because brewing a bag is extremely popular. We're not saying don't do it, but you can, Aaron, use your system the way it was designed and not worry about it. Just don't double mill. If you're not using a bag, do not double mill, and you should be golden. And if you're too worried, or if you use recirculation too, and you're worried, throw some rice holes in there into your grain bill. And then, that should help keep stuff from, stuck mash, stuck sparge, et cetera. But I don't have a whole lot more to add to that. Todd, I didn't throw anything at you at this except for.
I don't ever brew on those, so y'all know a lot more about it than I do.
And again, on a 3-vessel Herms, if for those who are new to the show and don't know what a Brautag is, a 3-vessel Herm system, you literally would not use it. I mean, it would be comical to see someone using a Bruna bag on a 3-vessel Herms because of how unnecessary it is, because of how the function of that system is, how the system functions, rather. I speak English. And I don't want to just drag it on I sometimes speak English with an impediment. I don't want to drag it on for the sake of it, but I think we covered it, right, James? And
yep.
I think that's pretty good. Aaron, we do appreciate it. A final reminder, my friends, if you text or email like our buddy Aaron did to 325-305-6107 or joshua@homebrewhappyhour.com and I use your question on a future episode, you get yourself a $15 gift card to catconnection.com. And you might think, wow, that's really good. $15, that's a lot. It is a lot. But even better, you call that same hotline. I use your voicemail on a future episode, and you get yourself a $25 gift card to catconnection.com. Like the Gong of Questions presents our third and final question. It is a voicemail. It's our buddy Logan from Waco.
Hey guys, it's Logan here in Waco. Now that I will be having a keezer and doing kegs, I would like to do the Topo clones. And as we discussed, Josh, I like salt and citrus a lot of the time. And I really like the Topo lime. So I'm thinking about doing a lime or a lemon lime Topo clone. What's the best way to do that? Is it through different salts? Is that through citric acid? What's the best way to kind of add that lemon lime flavor that I enjoy to a Topo clone? Thanks, and Josh, you do not get enough credit around here.
Thank you, Logan.
Y'all have a good one.
What a good guy.
That last line didn't make any sense, did it, Todd?
Not really. I
don't understand why he doesn't get enough credit.
I know. Well, I have to bring all the credit to me. And actually, that was AI. Logan doesn't even exist. That was a question I did. Here's $1 million idea.
I think he would have been a lot more. I would think he would have talked a lot more about you.
Absolutely, Josh. You are you are so handsome, Josh. You are so handsome. And first off,
I love the purple hat.
Yeah, I love. That's how y'all would know it was fake. That's how y'all would know it was fake. How dare you? How dare you?
No, that was funny, James.
I want to start.
That was funny.
You jerks. I want to start though by saying we have had Topo clones flying off the shelf. They are very popular. They're still on sale right now, $5.95 for 5 gallons worth of minerals. I promise you guys, unless you bulk buy, which we put it out there at homebrewhappyhour.com. It is no secret what we are doing, and we invite people if they want to do it themselves. We have a whole article with the recipe and the breakdown for you. But a lot of people have decided it's just easier to buy it. Like if they're buying a keg kit or something, just throw in 4 bags, you get an even bigger discount, all that. With that being said, when Logan reached out and talked about the lime flavoring of it, I wanted to talk about it on the show because I don't know if I would treat a lime flavoring like I would maybe a grapefruit or something else. Because what Todd does at the office, because y'all's office there and my office here always has sparkling water on tap. Instead of flavoring the keg, y'all flavor it per pour if you want to, right? Like Todd, you just keep lime juice, or is it lemon juice? No, it's lime juice.
Both.
But you keep the juices and you're pouring and mixing and stirring, and then boom. I usually put fresh lime or lemon juice in there, or I use the from the jar, but it's not a mix. It's just pure lemon or lime juice, or I use a fresh lemon or lime. And I love that. I love to have that, pour the water right on it. And yeah, it's great. It's a great way to do it. And I do like the Topo Chico flavored ones. If I'm, on the road traveling and I'm going to get a Topo Chico, I really like the grapefruit one. I like the lime one, but if I'm mixing it myself, I always put fresh lemon or lime juice in it as I'm serving. And I would think that that's my favorite way too, because it just tastes fresh every time. Like I have some right here. Do you really? Oh, that coffee mug is actually a lime Topo Chico? Yep. And another good reason for doing it by the pour with a fruit. Yes, limes are fruit. A fruit like a lime is that's easy enough to store it in the fridge, which, if you're keeping a keg of Topo Chico, you're going to have room for a bag of limes. You will. Taking one out, cutting it open, putting it in your drink, pouring your water, boom. It's safe there. However, James, hypothetically, if you were wanting to take a keg to a party of water that you wanted flavored, what would you think would be the best way to have the flavor pop for the entirety of that keg? Would it be dry hopping, or would it be just dumping juice in there and shaking it up and letting?
Yeah, that's the way I do it. But I don't make a lot of sparkling water. But if I was, I would get one of those bottles of lime concentrate and put it in there. The only thing I did that one time with real limes. I don't know if you remember that, Todd. But I just cut a bunch of limes up and threw it in there and carbonated it. And it was just full of pulp and cloudy. And that was the one thing that I thought, I don't know if I'll do that again.
Well, and I always wonder, because I know it's not the same.
With fresh limes.
Yeah, yes. I don't know if it's not the same as beer. But, they make, what's the company? We're giving them a hard time. They're the only ones at HomebrewCon this year, or Homebrew HQ. They're one of the only sponsors. Amaretti. They sell, I don't think they might sell lime extract, but they have those syrups or whatever. And they're a great company, guys. We're joking because if you haven't watched our episode where James and I kind of recap Homebrew HQ, it was like, it was a little depressing, but Amaretti has been there at every show I can ever remember.
Yeah, they've been loyal to
they've been good.
Homebrew Association.
Like, that's how we were like, oh, look, it is HomebrewCon. Amaretti's here. Woo! Where do we get our free flavorings? That will sit in my shelf because I don't use flavorings. I don't even use minerals in my water yet, guys. Judge me, not them. But, you
don't use minerals in your.
I still have
when you brew?
No, this next batch, my dad and I are doing the breakfast.
I'm just giving you a hard time.
I know you are, but my pop and I are going to use a pack of Topo Chico minerals for this year's batch of breakfast stout. Is the plan. So awesome. We're going to finally season our water. We're after enough internet bullying.
Finally.
Bullying works, guys. Y'all have been in my text messages, not these two. You at home watching, y'all have been in my text message. Oh, do you not season your chicken when you cook? Oh, do you not season a steak? Do you not use salt and pepper? And Todd can actually attest, a lot of the times I don't season my food. I get judgment at your house all the time when you're like, "Do you want some salt?"
That's hard.
He doesn't use ketchup either.
I don't on anything.
All right.
And what Todd's
on anything.
Todd's
I
real
don't
judge.
understand.
His real judgment against me, James, is I don't use cheese. He's like,
oh, cheese,
Oh,
gosh,
yeah,
that's just impossible.
I can't have a hamburger without cheese. I can't believe people will have hamburgers without cheese. It's just
I'll order a
that's
cheeseburger.
like having French fries without ketchup. It just doesn't work in my head.
Yeah, I here's what's even grosser. I like dipping my French fries in milkshake more than I like dipping it in
Oh, that's
ketchup.
good too. 'Cause
Okay,
you get the
okay.
savory and sweet.
Yes.
You know, you get the salty, savory, and sweet.
Yes, it is my. I would much rather do the milkshake. But either way, back to the question.
Yeah, we'll have like Italian food, and he doesn't want Parmesan. I mean,
It's
listen, don't take this the wrong way, Josh, but you're a freak, man. I mean,
Okay, you sound like my mom. How dare you?
Do you have your sandwiches the edges cut off on your sandwiches?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
The crust?
Yeah, they make them now, James, commercially called Crustables. Oh yeah.
Really?
One for my daughter, one for me. One for
The crust, the best part of the sandwich.
No, of course I don't do that. I tell Todd, kidding aside, I would eat the food how it's prepared. So if Liz made something with cheese on it, I'm not anti-cheese. I don't add to it. That's all.
Right.
It's like, the steak.
Well, when Liz makes anything,
next time I make
don't
breakfast-
season it.
yes.
next time I make breakfast tacos for him, I'm going to put half a pound of cheese in each one as I'm preparing.
Okay. And I'll respectfully eat it because that's how the chef prepared it for me.
Because it's good.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I didn't know I was supposed to add it. I will fix that issue.
Well, yeah, but you do add a half a bag to each taco you eat. Like that, like you're like, do you want some cheese? Well, first off, there's none left. But even if I did want cheese, no, Liz made this taco this way for me. I appreciate and respect the art. But wrapping up Logan's question, because it's another one where it's pretty straightforward. I do think getting the juice from your local store. He's in Texas. Go to HEB, my friend. Buy the lime juice or the lemon juice or both. And
or limes and lemons, yeah,
or fresh ones. But if he wants to put it in the keg, I mean, Todd,
in the keg,
the juice would probably be the best way to go. Like James said from anecdotal experience, the pulp and all. I guess you could bag it and all that. That's going to make it complicated. Sure. Just pour the juice in there. What would be a good ratio of? One of those little 8-ounce bottles for a 5-gallon keg would, or actually that might not be enough flavoring. This is
maybe too much. I don't know. I would just start and taste, just like that's the way I cook. I'm always tasting it.
And I really do think though, after he either tries it in a keg, if it's just the lime loading, I'm confident you're just going to do it per pour like we do, where I'm pouring just standard Topo Chico and I open the fridge for the fresh lime or the lime juice and I mix it at that point. For me, that's the winner. Even at the parties my pop hosts, we will make a batch of even like hard seltzer and just leave sliced up lemons and limes right there at the tap. That way, hey, you do it yourself because everybody's different, right? If you some people like it real citrusy and some don't.
If you do it that way, then you always can do something else that you want. You may get tired of that.
Yes.
I happen to like cucumbers in my water, and I would have never tried that. And I don't remember where we were at, Todd, but we had water and it had cucumbers in it.
Oh yeah, they do that at a lot of Hilton properties will have a little.
It's delicious.
Yeah.
No kidding. I love cucumbers.
It's amazing how much of a difference it makes.
No kidding. Okay, well,
and I don't like cucumbers, but yeah, it was at a hotel because they had it. If you remember, they had it right after we checked in, and it was actually in the dispensing. This real fancy glass dispenser in little glasses. It was really good.
You know what? I vaguely remember. Did the Hilton property we stayed at on our way back from HomebrewCon San Diego have that where it wasn't in your cup, but it was cucumbers in the iced water at the okay. I remember that. It had a little like Cobra tap, basically normal spigot, but yeah, right. It did have cucumbers, sliced up cucumbers in the iced water. I didn't think
they had, if you remember, they had like cucumbers one, and the other one they had limes, they had lemons, and they were all on one little table. And
that's right. I do remember that.
I was amazed at how much better it enhanced the flavor of the water.
I've got to try
really
that
good.
now. See, and again, like Logan, like what James is saying, you can try a ton of things if you just make a straight up keg of Topo Chico. And then if you do find yourself loving one, experiment on a keg or experiment per pour. It is what it is. If y'all have feedback for us, you can comment. I'd appreciate it at youtube.com/homebrew happy hour because your comments, you're smashing the like button, you're subscribing to the channel. All of that really helps the algorithm. Our short form videos perform very well, and we're happy we're able to drive people over to Homebrew Happy Hour and all the other places that we do from those videos. But the podcast is 99.5% consumed audio only, so your interaction with these episodes on YouTube really does help us. Even the people who write, Josh, I am only typing this to help you. Thank you. You're doing great, and we sincerely appreciate you. And Logan, we appreciate you. And guys, that's all the questions I have, and I appreciate y'all. So I've got nothing more for you.
We appreciate being appreciated, Josh.
We appreciate you bringing your purple hat.
Thank you, James, for
it's good to see that thing back on you.
Thank you. Yeah, I did shave. Here, I'll go bald. I'm testing out a new foil razor, and it still looks like it's not as short. I don't know what I'm going to do. I want a razor that I can just do every day in the shower and not let it grow out. I just want to be bald, guys. I don't want to be looking weird, but I can't prevent that. Anyways, that is all I have for this week, my friends. I appreciate y'all's time.
Awesome.
I'll see y'all later.
Thank you.
See ya.
And that will do it for this episode of the Homebrew Happy Hour. If you have a question you'd like us to discuss on a future episode, you could go to homebrewhappyhour.com. You could email Joshua at homebrewhappyhour.com, but even better, call it in, leave a voicemail at 325-305-6107 and get yourself a $25 gift card to kegconnection.com. Thank you to our show sponsors like Munton's Malt. Premium grains for a better brew day. If you aren't already brewing with them, give it a try by joining our Trub Club at a recipe receiving level. For the best hops available online, give our friends at hopsdirect.com a visit and pick up what you need for your next brew day. Also, get a pack of premium imperial yeast along with delicious recipes from us when you join the Trub Club. Go to patreon.com/homebrew happy hour and come brew with us. On behalf of Todd Burns, James Carlson, and the Pearl Media Network, I'm Joshua Stubing. Thank you for listening.